Hey y'all, I am back today with a frugal tip for you. If you're like me and you follow Angie over at Our Life on a Budget, then you'll know that recently she did a video about how to make your own stock and freeze it. And in this video, I want to show you how to hot jar can that stock so that if you're limited on your freezer space, you can store it on the shelf instead. It's really easy to do, and I'll show you how. First, some canning supplies that you'll need to get this done. Obviously, we've got canning jar, lids, rings, and this obviously is to just set on top of your jar so that whenever you're ladling in your stock or whatever you're putting in the jar, you don't make a mess. The lids and the rings are what go on top of the jar to can. This is my favorite thing. It's a little magnetic lid grabber. When you have your lids and your rings in a pot to have them really hot so that everything's hot when you put it together, you can use this to get your lids out and your rings out without burning yourself. And along those lines, this is a jar grabber. This will fit over the top of the jar. That way you can get it out of your pot of hot water without burning yourself. For this though, really I just tend to use a fork. This comes in handy sometimes, but I don't always use it. And if you need any of these supplies, I actually do have a link down in the description box for a kit that has some of these accessories in it. And a few extras too. It's only about 12 bucks. It's cheap enough to get you started doing this if you want to try this at home. It is an affiliate link, and that just means that they give me a couple of cents for the referral if you click on that link and decide to buy it, and it doesn't cost you any extra to do so. Next here we have our pot of stock. This is our off-brand Instant Pot, and it's a big one, you know, just for size reference. We've got it running on our slow cooker function, and this has been going for 24 hours. What we do is same thing Angie showed. We save all of our vegetable scraps and put them in a bag in the freezer. So this has, you know, onion peels in it, celery ends, garlic ends whenever we chop up garlic. It's got some bay leaf in there. This also has in it some carrots from the garden that we grew this year, and the carrots themselves weren't very sizable, but we decided we could use them for stock, and so I threw those in there as well. And it also has a turkey neck in there and some turkey parts that we did not use at Thanksgiving, so we just put them in a bag, put them in the freezer, and whenever we had a bag full of vegetables, we decided to make some stock out of it. So we didn't have a whole lot of turkey parts, so we also threw in a couple of beef soup bones. That's what those look like when we get them from the store. They're really cheap at the store. It comes 4 bones to a bag, and we just put in 2 for this pot of stock. And also, whenever you throw everything in here and get it going, don't forget to put in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. That will help suck out all of the goodie from the bones and make your stock a little bit more rich. Next step, obviously, is to strain your stock. So I've got a big pot here and colander, and we'll strain it. And it will make a mess, just to warn you. All right. If you want to be extra frugal, you can actually save these scraps, throw in another couple of beef bones or whatever bones you've got to make stock with. Rotisserie chicken bones also make really good stock, by the way. But you can save all of this and do a second run if you need to. All right, got that in there. And I've got a smaller wire colander here so I can get out any of the smaller bits from the pot. That's the minced garlic I threw in there. So we'll just run this around a few times and get all of the little bits out of the pot. And then I have a towel sitting here because with all of that stock splashing around, I know some of it got on the sides and on the bottom. So I'll just set that on the towel and get all of the stock off the bottom. And now I will set this on the stove and bring it up to a good simmer, just about boiling. That should be hot enough for it. All right, so here we are ready to go. I'm gonna show you what I do. We've got our hot stock, our hot canning jars, extra sitting over here to the side in case we need them. And the back pot there has my lids and rings in it. So I'll show you how we do it. It's really pretty simple. You just have to be very careful because everything is hot. First, to get out the jar, dump all the water out, set it there, put in the stock, sorry, the dogs are chewing on treats in the background if they are making noise. Garrett, I gave you that treat so you would be quiet. See how well that worked out. Oops, just about filled it too full there. In fact, I did. Gonna have to pour that back in a little bit. Okay. And then I give the top of the jar just a little pat to get the extra liquid off of it. Then we get our handy magnet thing, get out a hot lid, place it on the top, get out a hot ring, place it on the top, and then I use my extra towel here to hold it tightly so I can screw it on there good without burning myself. And that's all there is to it, guys. You've got a canned jar of stock there. As this cools, you'll hear these lids start pinging when they get suctioned down, and that's how you know that your canning was successful. That's really about the easiest thing you can do. So yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of these jars done and I'll show you the final product. So there we have it. We ended up with 5 quart jars, 2 pint jars, and 1 little half pint jar of stock there. So yeah, I hope you guys will give this a try. Hot jar canning is not something that you should be intimidated by. It's really easy to do and it's hard to mess up. This is one of my favorite frugal hacks because it just helps reduce waste so much. You know, making use of these bones and, oh, did you hear that? That was one of the jars pinging that it is now sealed and good to go. That's one of the most satisfying sounds you'll hear if you get into canning, so give it a try. But anyway, this, you know, it makes use of bones and vegetable scraps that would otherwise just get thrown out in the garbage. And, you know, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you can do this without the animal bones and make your own vegetable stock at home. It's a win-win situation because you're never gonna have to buy stock from the store again. It really helps reduce waste. This is also healthier for you because you can control the salt level that goes into the stock. So yeah. I hope you guys will give this a try and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.